All right, Gravity Falls fans, we are back with season 1, episode 15, and this one was a pretty fun one, honestly. It had a lot of good jokes. I won't waste too much time, I'm just going to kind of dive right into it. This episode started with, opening day at Gravity Falls Pool, and a fun reference to, Stan's wax melt, or wax figure melting. Referencing the older episodes older episode where the wax figures came to life, which is fun. Mabel develops a crush on one of the mysterious, loners, as Seuss deems him, who never leaves the pool. Wendy is a lifeguard, and Dipper tries to get her to hang out, but she can't because they're looking for a new lifeguard. So Dipper asks to become said lifeguard. However, to do this, he must get approval from her boss, who is a very military-like guy. I forget what they call him in this episode, but I think it's like Mr. Bossman or Mr. Boss or something like that. But anyways, Mabel's guy can't seem to leave the pool, and he's constantly, hanging on a float, or having a float cover him. So a little bit suspect. Next up, the pool manager takes his job, the one that takes his job way too serious, I should say. He apparently lost his hand to a pool filter, so that's fun. Not quite sure how that happens, but he's obviously been very seasoned and hardened by this job. So Dipper is given the job after some convincing of the intense manager. Now Old Man McGucket makes yet another appearance, lotioning himself up because why wouldn't he be in this? He seems to be popping up in more and more episodes as I go through these. And Gideon also makes an appearance and takes Stan's chair, and Stan gets thrown in pool jail, trying to boot him out because people believe that it's actually, Gideon's rightful chair. So they got that little fun feud going on, and it's always fun to see Gideon kind of pop up here and there. Solitary pool jail is apparently a thing, however, and it's hilarious. They have a kid in solitary pool jail, and apparently he's been in there for God knows how long. His parents, where are they? Who knows? I mean, it's Gravity Falls. Like I said before, this town might as well be the town from It. The way these parents, parent. Mabel has a Jaws reference sneaking up on her guy friend, or her loner guy, which I love. I always love the pop culture references that this creator manages to put in this show. I think it's so much fun, and I think it's just I don't know. It's obviously not a huge deal, and it's a very blink and you'll miss it moment. But I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, so I want to mention it. She gets him to share his secret, which is that he is a merman, which Mabel takes very well, surprisingly. His name is Mermando, and he was caught while swimming with dolphins, where he was brought to Gravity Falls and found his way to the pool. It's a very convoluted plot, but that's what I love about this show. They do stuff like that, and they go for it. So you know what? I'm here for it. Wendy and Dipper mess with Seuss, convincing him that pool floaties can talk, which is a fun little moment between them. It's also a lot of fun just seeing Seuss kind of be himself. It never fails to disappoint. But later, Mabel sneaks into the pool at night to hang out with Mermando, where she learned that he actually had a family in the ocean and wants to leave the pool, showing his one escape attempt, which is hilarious, and ends with him getting pecked by birds. It's honestly a pretty pathetic escape attempt, but you know what? You gotta credit the guy for trying. What's a merman to do in this world, in a world such as this, and especially in a town like Gravity Falls? The next day, Dipper and Wendy are messing around again, and Dipper's caught and put in stakeout on the pool closet because obviously a lot of supplies went missing. Mabel hatches a plan, however, to free Mermando, and Stan is caught by Dipper while out on night watch of the pool, where Mabel also shows up. As I mentioned, she's freeing Mermando. She's going to be transporting him via cooler on the back of a golf cart. But not before she is caught trying to build him legs out of fish sticks taped together. I mean, not caught. I shouldn't say caught. She kind of gives that information up freely. She doesn't really have to, have that information pried out of her. But it is a very interesting escape, or solution. It's, I don't know. It's not really one I would have gone with, but, Mabel's mind is an enigma. And that's kind of what we love about her, I guess. Dipper, however, finds Mabel, and she escapes by telling Dipper that she saw Wendy in a bikini. Because, why wouldn't Dipper look at that? Is it logical? Does it make sense? Is it even possible at all? No, who cares? It's Wendy possibly in a bikini for Dipper. That's enough. And you know what? As a former teenage boy, I must say, that might work. You know what? That's not very unrealistic. But this leads to a golf cart chase between the two, and Mabel tells Dipper about Mermando when it eventually ends near the lake. Dipper gives him reverse CPR to save him because, as I said, this ended at the lake, but their golf carts crashed before she could get him in the water. So he drinks water and pushes or gives it to Mermando via mouth to mouth. I don't know. It's very odd, and even Mermando says, after he's saved, he's like, "Thank you, but could just roll me in the lake, man. Like, what the hell? We didn't need to do all that." And that was my thought, but I thought I was maybe being a little bit of a fun police or like a buzzkill, so I didn't want to say anything. But if Mermando said it, then I'm going to say it. Now, Mabel mentioned meeting vampires and sharing a kiss with Mermando. The vampires thing I wanted to include because I was going to ask you guys, for those of you that have seen the show multiple times, this is obviously my first watch through. I don't ever remember seeing vampires, but, I could be wrong. Anyways, after all this, the pool manager actually fires Dipper by literally eating his whistle, being completely unhinged. And I say unhinged like he hasn't been unhinged this whole time, but this is just like, it keeps building with this guy. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. And he actually, Zeus kind of saves Dipper because the manager sees Zeus releasing the pool floaties and loses it, and he proceeds to chase him, which is, terrifying. If I was Zeus, I'd be a little bit more stressed out than he is in this episode. But Wendy also reveals that she got fired, so her and Dipper can keep hanging out. After all, that's, the whole reason Dipper wanted this job in the first place. Now, this episode kind of wraps up with the very tiny Gideon Stan subplot, where Gideon, Stan got there late at night so he can get the chair from Gideon. He stays the night in it, as uncomfortable and irrational as that is, and Gideon arrives the next morning, letting Stan know he coated the chair Stan was staying in he coated it with like glue, trapping him to it. And the episode ends showing the boy stuck in solitary confinement pool jail, celebrating all the holidays throughout the year. So, like I said, I mean, God knows how long he's been there, and God knows how long he's going to be there, because I guess it's just eternal. How does he eat? Who knows? How does he drink? Who knows? But you know what? It's fun. And I like that little bit. It's that's the thing about this show. They do little little gags and little bits that's very reminiscent for me of shows like Family Guy or like American Dad, where they'll have like one-off bits or just kind of running gags, and they keep doing them, and I just love that because it adds some more through lines to it, but it also is just fun to see, and it's never really something I have to force myself to laugh at. I just genuinely find it funny, so I liked it. Overall, this episode, was pretty fun. I said this with the last few ones, and I feel bad kind of saying this because I want to do more. I want to be able to say more. I want to be like, wow, this episode blew me away. But, I'm going to be honest with you guys when I do these, and that's the whole reason for me doing this. I want to have an honest, kind of recollection of my journey through the show, because I had a feeling it would be special. That's what everybody that I know personally told me before going into it. So, honestly, this episode was fine. I didn't really love it, didn't really hate it. I'd give it a 2.5, 3. I mean, I like the setting. I like the vibes of it. The summer vibes were very, prominent, I guess, which is ironic because a couple episodes ago I was bragging about how talking about how the Halloween vibes were very prominent. So this show can definitely balance both ends of the spectrum. But it was nice to have this episode because sometimes I do forget that the kids are here on summer vacation, and it is actually summertime. So it's nice to have a little bit of a reminder for sure. But yeah, overall, this is a fun episode. I don't really have much to say on it because unfortunately there's not many theories I could pull together because I just haven't really been given anything lately. But I will say it was fun to see Gideon returning, and it's fun to see Dipper and Wendy's relationship be built up more. I do wonder where they're going to take that by the end of the show, because it's kind of something like, how do I put this? It's kind of like Zach and Cody. You know, when Zach had a crush on, I forget her name, but, Ashley Tisdale's character. They had such an age gap that I'm like, well, how is this ever going to, work out? Because they're investing so much into this. Are they going to make them a couple actually, down the line when it's, more age appropriate for the younger character? But I don't know. Apparently, they decided not to go that route for that show. So this show could very well go that same route and just make them platonic. However, I don't know. They're investing so much into it. I do wonder if it's actually going to lead somewhere, or if I'm just looking way too far into this and I should probably just chill out and enjoy the show for what it is. But who knows? We'll have to see. I'm not a very patient person, so I'm trying to chug along through these so I can, experience this amazing show and hopefully get to the bottom of some of these mysteries that they laid the groundwork for earlier in the season. It's a very exciting show, and I think it has so much, potential, and I'm very eager to see what the future holds. I'm getting very close to the end. I know that. I think I have, after this episode, 4 more episodes or 5 more. So either way, getting very close to the end of season 1. If you stuck along and heard what I had to say about this episode and you liked enjoying me kind of recount the episode in a very quick manner, let me know down below. If there's something you want to change, or if there's something you would change about the way I do these videos, also let me know. I'm eager to improve, and I'm eager to, kind of make my audience happy. So if you guys have something you want to see, please do feel free. Other than that, that's about it. Be on the lookout for the next Gravity Falls video. And until next time, I will see you guys later.